The gospel is good news. And I want to talk to you about the gospel from 3 points of view, 3 aspects. Firstly, there's the historical aspect, which is what Christians have believed the good news is ever since the time of Jesus. And this is that he died and rose from the dead for our salvation. And our record before God is by faith, the same record as Christ. So we don't have to obey God in order to be accepted by God. We are accepted by God through Christ. And therefore we obey God. So it allows us to be broken. It allows us to be still failures in so many ways. And yet by faith in Christ's work, we have a perfect record before God. That's a message of grace. And we need that message today. Ephesians tells us it's by grace that we've been saved. And it's not of ourselves, so that none of us can boast before him. The second aspect is the transforming power of the good news. But becoming a Christian or being forgiven or getting to heaven is not the goal of the gospel. The goal, these are the entry points, and the goal is so that we can walk in fellowship with God. And as we do that, we are changed in the process. Our hearts are changed, our motives are changed, our mind is changed, our lives are changed. And in Galatians it says that walk by the Spirit and you will not gratify the desires of the sinful nature. We'll be changed in the process as we walk with God. The third and final aspect I want to talk about is the global appeal and the global concern of the gospel. It's not just an individual message for you and just for me. There's a global appeal to this. The grand sweep of the biblical story is this, that God made the world and humanity, and it was perfect. But the world and humanity fell into sin, and we've been decaying ever since. We've been falling apart at the seams. So God sent his Son into the world to rescue the world, to redeem the world and bring the world and humanity back to himself. And ultimately, he's going to restore the world and each one of us who trust in him to become a new kind of people. And ultimately there'll be no sin, there'll be no suffering, tears, or death, or decay, or destruction of any kind. It's good news for all of us. It says in Colossians that God was pleased to have his fullness dwell in Jesus, and through him to reconcile to himself all things, whether things in heaven or things on earth, through his blood shed on the cross. So the gospel, the good news of Christianity, which is unique to Christianity, is both individual for you and me, but it's also global. It's good news indeed.